Alright, this video is all about using geocodes. Most of the time when you enter a customer, you're going to enter the shipping address and you want to geocode it so that routeman knows where to plot it on the map when you use dashboard, and also so that when you send an order, your drivers can use the mapping tool to be able to route them directly to that location. So what we will do is you have to be in edit customer mode, but when you enter the street address information, you'll choose geocode line 1 or line 2, whichever line has the street address information. So if you have apartment number 207 or suite such and such, don't use that line, use the street address line. Okay, and so when you hit geocode line 1, you can see that the street address matches pretty much perfectly, but in some cases it may change the name of the city, or it may change the punctuation or something like that. In that case, you can hit update all if you're okay with how it's written. If you want to keep the street address written exactly how you had it, but you want to plot the geocode, the latitude and longitude, you would hit that button right there. But most of the time you can just hit update all, and at this point it's pasted in the latitude and the longitude, and so now routeman knows exactly how to give your drivers directions how to get there, and when you pull this customer up on the map, it's going to show exactly where they are. Now if you want to test and make sure that it is the right location, we have a handy button right here. Now that I've hit OK to save it, I can click on that map. Sometimes it takes a moment, and look at that. I didn't even try this ahead of time. It puts the dot right on the building. If it turns out that the dot is not on the building, you can use these slides to zoom out and get a sense of how far off it might be. And then you can either use the device the next time that the driver goes there, you can have them update the location. If you'd like to learn how to do that, you can search in the help videos for location and look for the how to update location from Route Mobile video. Or you can use the dashboard and slide the customer's location around on the map to put it right in the right spot. Again, if you'd like to learn about doing that, search in the help videos for location and look for the one with updating the customer's location on dashboard. Alright, so that's how you enter one simple geocode using the geocode function right there in the ship addresses. I'll point out that you also can do that for any alternate addresses. So in this case, I have a street address here, but I haven't geocoded it. If I go into edit customer and edit address, right here, this is where I can come in and geocode this particular location. And then that way, when the driver gets those orders, those deliveries, they have that information attached to it as well. So they can pull up the directions to get to those alternate locations. Okay, if you are dealing with a lot of customers in your database that don't have a geocode, but they do have an address, what you can do, we have a utility that we use usually when a new company is just starting to build their database. We'll use this feature. It's called Auto Geocode. And so you can come up here, and if most of your street addresses are on line 1, you would choose this one. Same for line 2. And if you run this, it's going to ask you, are you sure? And then it just takes a little while, and it goes through, and it ignores all the customers that have a geocode, and it just looks at the ones that don't have any. Now, if you're dealing with a large number of customers in your database that don't have one, it's probably going to take a little while, but you can let this run. It's just going to do its thing and then come back and check on it later. I will mention that when you're using the auto geocoding tool, there's not a human there verifying that the address looks correct. You can come up with some errors once in a while where it will map a geocode to an address in a different state or something like that. Usually you get 1 or 2 of those per 1,000 customers that you're geocoding. So that's just something to look out for. You can actually, if you're concerned about that, one of the ways you could verify that everything's at least relatively correct would be to take all the customers that you're going to run the geocoding on, put them in a group, geocode them, and then pull up the group on the dashboard and just make sure that they're all relatively in your city or your area that you're delivering to. Okay, on some rare occasions, we will actually have the geocoding tool go down and have a problem. And so I just wanted to point out, if that ever happens and you need to enter a geocode manually, there's a way you can do that that's not very difficult. What you do is pull up the map on Google Maps and find the customer. And I'm just going to point out right here, if you click on the actual business name, it gives you the street address and all that. You make sure it's the right customer. Up here, there is the beginning of an address, and then it'll have the @ symbol, and then look at this number, 33.47 is big long code, right? Well, if you look at the geocode here, it's very, very close, 33.469, okay? And so that's what that is in your Google Maps up at the top of the address bar. And then here's the other, this is the X and the Y. Here's the other one. You want to make sure that you would keep track of the negative as well, because that keeps us on this side of the planet. So if you don't grab the negative, that would put you somewhere in China probably. So what you can do if the geocoding is not working for whatever reason, if you find the actual spot on the map, and you can just highlight these, copy, and paste them directly into your latitude and longitude fields there in routeman. If you'd like to learn about updating the customer's location using the dashboard or Route Mobile, search for those videos. Or if you're having other problems with geocoding, you can certainly reach out to us and we'll be happy to help.